Hi, good afternoon, and Happy New Year to you all. We will clink in New Year communality. Here's to you all. There's the clunkophonic mug. Boink. I welcome you into the first curve flattening concert of 2025. And the curve does need to be flattened. I have a couple students who are down with COVID right now. People got sick during the holidays. Cozy Sheridan's got a bad cold. I don't think she has COVID. So be careful out there. Wear your mask if you're in public places, maybe. So I have a picture of Charlie. This picture I took. Where did I take this picture? I think I took that picture at the park this morning. Charlie went to the park. There he is, looking his usual adorable self. The first Charlie pic of 2025 for you. There he is, buddy. And he's actually right here. Well, actually, I have to get rid of the picture first before I can say that. He's right here. I might be able to get the camera on him, but it would be too much like work, and then I'd have to get it back, you know. So I will say hi to a bunch of you as soon as I get my mojo working here. I see Steve DeHaas is here, Steve Walker, who will be doing a concert later this evening. I think 7:30, is that right, Steve? And Slim Edelman. And Deb Libby Clark, and David Arthur Radcliffe, Mike Verbeck, Kathy Marzik, Dom Dietz, Mike Schnabel, Rhonda Scott Merrick, and Linda Worster, and Lori Payne, and Debbie Moore up in Maine, and Dave Mason in Scotland. Hi, Dave. And Mike Stillman in Joshua Tree, California. And I think that's it. Okay, that's everybody who's here so far who I can see. And we'll kick it off with a little bit of music. I appreciate you guys spending part of your New Year's Day with me. If I had wings like Noah's dove, I'd fly that river to the one I love. Fare thee well, my honey, fare thee well. Now the woman I love, she's long and tall. She can move her body like a cannonball. Fare thee well, my honey, fare thee well. One of these mornings, and it won't be long, you're gonna call my name, and I'll be gone. Fare thee well, my honey, fare thee well. late one evening in the drizzling rain. All around my heart was an ache and pain. Fare thee well, my honey, fare thee well. If I had wings like Noah's dove, you know I'd fly that river to the one I love. Fare thee well, my honey, fare thee well, my honey, fare thee well. That's called Dink's Song, and it is a folk song that was collected by, I think, John Lomax. So let me go back and say some more hellos. I'm losing track here. Dave Mason. Blah, blah, blah. John Ferrulo is here, my good buddy from Massachusetts. Terry St. James up there in Montreal. Helene Tober Fowler is here from Michigan. Bruce McNeil from the Philly area. Laura Jackson Selden from down in Virginia, Maryland area. And somewhere down there, right, Laura? And Connie Adams from Southern California. And Robin Gray. And I forget where you're from, Robin, darn it. And Bob McKenna in the borough of Manhattan, I believe, and Pam Zappardino, hi Pam, and David Arthur Radcliffe in the UK. Lori Payne, I said hi to. I'm running through these. Kate Petrella is here from Florida, and Rita Rubin Long from Portland, Maine, and David Klein is here. I think he's local, and I'm not sure of that. Jim Moran in Nashville. We got people from all over who are taking a little time out to hang out with each other. That's what we come here for New Year's Day 2025. And I'm going to take a little more coffee. Because coffee, you don't need any more explanation than that. So next up today, my favorite Townes Van Zandt song. There's a lot of great Townes Van Zandt songs, but this one's my favorite. Living on the road, my friend, gonna make you free and clean. Now you wear your skin like iron, your breath's as hard as kerosene. You weren't your mama's only boy, but her favorite one it seems. She began to cry when you said goodbye. Sank into your dreams. Poncho was a bandit, boys. His horse was fast as polished steel, wore his gun outside his pants. for all the honest world to feel. They say he met his end, you know, on the deserts south in Mexico. No one heard his dying word. That's the way it goes. And all the federales say they could have had him any day. They just let him go that way. Out of kindness, I suppose. And Lefty, he can't sing the blues all night long like he used to. The dust that Poncho bit down south, it ended up in Lefty's mouth. And the day they laid Poncho low, Lefty split for Ohio, where he got the bread to go. Now there ain't nobody knows. And all the federales say they could have had him any day. They just let him go that way. Out of kindness, I suppose. Poets tell how Poncho fell. Lefty's living in a cheap hotel. The desert's quiet, Cleveland's cold. So the story ends, we're told. Poncho needs your prayers, it's true, but save a few for Lefty too. He just did what he had to do. He's getting old. And all the federales say they could have had him any day. They just let him go that way. Out of kindness, I suppose. Some gray federales say they could have had him any day. They just let him go that way. Out of kindness, I suppose. Poncho and Lefty by Townes Van Zandt. And let me back up here, see a few more people. I see on YouTube, I have Tool Monkey says, I'm the guy who sent you the recordings of my guitar lesson with Steve Mann. Thank you. I forget your name right now, but I have those recordings right here on this computer. And that was really, really nice of you to send them. And they are, any little bit of Steve Mann you can get is great. So thanks very much. Let me see, Milwaukee Matson is here wishing us a Happy New Year. And Robin said she lives in Chicago. I should remember that, Robin, but my brain is like Swiss cheese. And S.A. Tudhope's here. I haven't seen S.A. for a little while. And Michael Miller, who is a big Townes Van Zandt fan. And like that, all my friends are hanging out here with me. We have a good crowd. It is announcement time. So there are friends who are invisible to me. You may be able to see them. They may or may not include Judith Fox, George Young, Joel Biget, or Mario Prue. And if anyone else is invisible, I send you my regards as well. There is, as always, a PayPal and Venmo link right there. And always appreciated, never expected. And the guitars for today. So right now, this guitar was made by the Pre-War Guitar Company of Hillsborough, North Carolina. It is a 00 size guitar, which is a little smaller than an OM or 000. And much smaller than a dreadnought, but bigger than a single O. You notice a pattern emerging here? And we're going to put this one down now, and for the rest of the concert, we'll just do one revolution here and come back in with a Gibson. So this is my 34 Gibson, and actually I don't have to tell you anything else about it except that the last song today will be all about my 34 Gibson. And this guitar is a little monster. Tommy Emmanuel, the guitar he used for many years, his small Maton guitar, he used to call it Mighty Mouse. And this is a similar thing. Although Tommy's only really sounded great when it was amplified, and this one sounds great all the time. So that's the guitars thing. Once again, for the billionth time, Bunny Barnes, Kurt Lippy, and I will be playing right here in Sellersville, PA at the beautiful Sellersville Theater on January 15th. And you can find that online at ST, like Sellersville Theater, st94.com. And you could look at their calendar and find a date. And if you're in the area, you could buy tickets. Always nice. And that's the announcement stuff. I am on now. Tonight, Steve Walker will be on at 7. I believe he said back here a little while ago. And so if you want to hear more music today, you can tune in on him. I'm belching coffee fumes here. And sorry, TMI, as they say. I don't know, but I assume Helen Avakian and David Irwin will be on tomorrow night, Thursday, at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central. Friday, Slim Edelman will be doing his show at 3:30 Eastern Time, and the topic is Buck Owens. And Saturday, Warren Bendler will be doing his show at 3 p.m. So, and then I'll be back Sunday at 10:30 a.m. So we are. What did Tool Monkey said something here about Reverend Gary Davis? He said something about hoping for a Reverend Gary Davis tune. Where'd he go? So I'm going to do the instrumental for today. Slim may be doing the Buck Owens show, but I'm doing the Buck Dance show. So this is Buck Dance, which I actually learned sitting at the knee of the Reverend Gary Davis when he asked me what I wanted to learn from having watched his concert the previous night. This was the first thing on my list. I thought if I could learn how to play that, I'd be like so fucking hip. So here it is, Buck Dance by the Reverend Gary Davis. Buck Dance by the Reverend Gary Davis. That's the name of that tune, Laura. And thank you all for listening to that with me. One of my great favorites of the Reverends, and there are a lot of those great favorites. So, let me see if I'm missing anybody here. Nancy Daynard checked in. And Mark Steele. Hi, Mark. I hope you're hanging in there, buddy. And Tua Monkey says, I noticed some of the licks in Buck Dance are also in Sally. Where'd you get your liquor from? And that's true. There's a lot of overlap. You know, David Bromberg said when they asked him about the Reverends playing, and he said essentially, he played one rag that he called by many different names. It was Buck Dance, Sally, where'd you get your liquor? Slow drag, Cincinnati flow rag. You know, there's a number of them. And they do share a lot of the same licks. The Reverend was a genius, but he wasn't such a total genius that he never played the same lick twice. As actually, I don't believe anybody is. I think that the idea when somebody says, oh yeah, he never does something the same way twice, I think whether they're talking about Gary Davis or Tony Rice or Jim Hall or whatever, humans have, they have patterns of stuff that they do. And the Reverend Gary Davis said to me, he said, playing the guitar is just a bag of tricks, and the more tricks in your bag, the better guitar player you are. I always remembered that as well. So one more for you today. This is one I wrote, and a lot of times people would see this old Gibson, this 1934. I'm going to check. It might be a 33, but the tune is named 34 anyhow. And they would say, boy, what's the story behind that guitar? And rather than tell them, well, I bought it from a guitar dealer, they wanted to hear a better story than that. So this is the story they would have liked to hear. That young boy must have worked mighty hard, saved $37 for a new guitar. When he got her, she looked pretty plain, just cheap white paint for the Gibson name. Well, he played on the streets for quite a while, till he got called up by the Army Corps. Dodging the draft was not his style, so him and that Gibson went to war. She could tell some tales if she could speak, where she's been, what she's seen. She could make these walls and windows shake. She don't speak, she sure can sing. Came back from the war alive, but he traded her in on a J45. And then a tough young woman had her for a while. She played the blues in the Memphis style. Now she was living a juke joint life, became a country singer's wife. And he strummed that Gibson without much grace, strummed the finish right off her face. Now in 1960 she got sold. By then she was looking pretty old, and a folk singer had her by his side. He went down on the Freedom Ride. That was hard traveling, I declare. He was lucky not to be murdered there. And way down south on a violent night, her back got stove in a fight. She could tell some tales if she could speak, where she's been and what she's seen. She can make these walls and windows shake. She don't speak, she sure can sing. I found her in a pawn shop, priced to sell. They weren't asking much, 'cause she looked like hell. And I tuned her up, and I struck a chord. All I could say is, oh my Lord. 'Cause now she sounds like a wise old sage. Some things only come with age. Most of them people are dead and gone. This old Gibson still lives on. She could tell some tales if she could speak, where she's been, what she's seen. She can make these walls and windows shake. She don't speak, she sure can sing. "34 Gibson" is the name of that tune, and this is an inspiring little guitar. I'm still glad to have it. It's one of several guitars which I call a keeper. A keeper one will always have. And Mike Verbeek said he saw A Complete Unknown while in Ann Arbor. Highly recommend. It is a great movie, and I just finished listening to the audiobook of Elijah Wald's book, Dylan Goes Electric, on which the movie is based. And the book is even better. The book is really great because it really discusses the sociology of that whole era. And its subtitle is Bob Dylan, Pete Seeger, and the Newport Folk Festival. And it spends kind of equal time on each of those three topics and ties them all in together. All the machinations of how Newport got started and how it progressed, and how Dylan's performance there in 1965 had a really negative effect on it. So anyhow, you might check that out. It's available on Audible as an audiobook, and you can probably buy it at a bookstore if you have one. So again, I thank you for joining me. I love you guys dearly. I see Aisling Bain is here, and let me see if I'm missing anybody else. Frank Ford in Cleveland, and he's on YouTube today. And I think I said hi to just about everybody I can see, so I hope that's the case. Be happy and be healthy. This is my wish to you all for the new year. Be brave and be calm. Be kind, it's a snack. And if you get cranky, take a nap. Take good care. Hope to see you on Sunday. Bye-bye.